Explain to everyone here what the mandate is.
Please.
We're asking you, and you look horrible right now because you're not answering it.
We need you to engage in this question of
Look,
mandate,
I've
please.
told you, we aren't the employer here. We encourage you to go back to the mediator. There's an independent mediator, Mr. Arnie Peltz, that had recommended that
Who
you go to
resigned on
binding
Friday.
arbitration to get those
And you're
issues
speaking the
resolved.
same briefing notes over and over and over again that you've been fed by your PR people. And that means absolutely zero to us because we have been out of class for now 28 days. What do you find out? We have an entire year.
We encourage you to take the advice of Mr. Arnie Peltz.
Well, what do you say to the students then? The students can't go to binding arbitration?
We say that if you took the advice of the independent arbitrator, Mr. Arnie Peltz.
Okay, so you're talking about the strike ending tomorrow. It could have been avoided entirely. The administration has admitted this whole time that they believe that our faculty should be paid much more than they're paid, but they haven't been able to do that because you have a mandate on them that imposes them to not raise their salaries any higher than the amount that you're happy with. So just admit that to everybody. Everyone knows. And you're just repeating the same line over and over.
Higher education.
My advice would be to take Mr. Arnie Peltz, who is an independent mediator. What he recommended is if you could end the strike today, if you went to binding arbitration, the strike would end today, and we encourage both sides.
Thank you.
Mr. Fielding, we would.
Instead of assessing us as UMFA members, which we are not, we're students, we don't go to mediation. That's not something that we do. We never actually had an interaction with the mediator because we are students. So instead of repeating talking points, you could address us directly as people that have come here as stakeholders. Thank you.
Well, as students, what I would encourage you is to talk to both sides, and we would encourage you to take the advice, or encourage both parties to take the advice of Arnie Peltz, who is an independent mediator and strike.
We have the highest operating revenue ratio in the top 15 Canadian universities, yet we have the second lowest salaries.
Well, that's why we would encourage you to go to binding arbitration with Mr. Arnie Peltz.
There would be no need if you would give the mandate.
And let them resolve the issues. We think that's
Unfortunately, the
important.
mandate does not allow for the university to offer more than, very little, below the rate, well below the rate inflation rate.
Well, we're not the employer in this. Let's be clear, we're not the employer in this.
But you
So what we recommend
Funder.
is go back to an independent mediator, is what Mr. Arnie Peltz has said. You could go to binding arbitration.
Respect that from you. You're also like a graduate of the University of Manitoba, received a quality education, and I think you should use that quality education you received to address us as stakeholders in the issue.
Well, as alumni to the University of Manitoba, we encourage everyone to both sides, not just UMFA, but also the administration. We encourage them to take the advice of Mr. Arnie Peltz.
There would be no need for binding arbitration if you would pull the bargaining mandate today and let free and fair bargaining take place at the University of Manitoba.